This video I'm going to show you all how to create shapes that you have already drawn, whether that's in your sketchbook and it's a matrix design that you've made, how to take those sketches and then turn them into vector graphics on Illustrator. The first thing I'm going to do is I already have the drawing that I made downloaded onto the computer. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on Open. And I'm going to select that drawing and open it. So here it is in Illustrator. The first thing I want to do here, since I'm going to be drawing over it, is I'm going to go where the Properties panel is at the right. I'm going to click right next to that where it says Layers. I need to add a new layer because I don't want to be drawing like directly on my original drawing. So let's come all the way down and to the right. It says this little icon here is how you create a new layer. I'm going to click on that, and now I know that I'm on layer 2. So that is all set. Now I'm going to come back to my toolbar on the left, and I'm going to start with the rectangle tool. And I'm just going to be showing you guys how I would recreate this chair. The first thing I'm going to want to do though, since I'm drawing an organic shape, is I don't really need, if you see like this magenta line showing up here, that's a smart guide. And I don't really need smart guides when I am, tracing an organic shape, because that's for very geometric things and making sure everything's perfect. We don't need that though. So I'm going to go to View, and I'm going to scroll down. And I'm going to uncheck Smart Guides. If you do this, just know that you can always bring them right back on, let's say, your next project if they're not on. Go to View and then reselect Smart Guides because they are good for a lot of stuff, just not for this. I'll click out of that. I have my rectangle tool selected. I can come over back to the right, select Properties. I can hopefully change my fill color. So let's make my little chair here blue, and I'm ready to start drawing over that. So first thing, I'm just going to make like a very kind of basic small rectangle. I can zoom in by hitting Control+. That'll zoom me in nicely. And so now that I have this, I'm going to stretch out the anchor points and also add in more rectangles. So to stretch out those anchor points, I need to come back to my tools and select the direct selection tool. Click on that. And now I can grab my anchor points, such as this one, I've clicked on it, and I'm going to actually bring it right to where I kind of need it to be. And for this one, it's nice because I can use this curving thing, this curving little circle here, to bring it in so that it matches up nicely with the little curve that I have on my chair here. All right, now I'm going to grab this anchor point. I have clicked on it and I'm going to bring it up. All right, so that's good. Now this anchor point down here, I'm going to also bring that down, and I'm going to go ahead and grab this anchor point and stretch that down as well. Cool. So that looks good to me. Now I need to actually create yet another rectangle. Or I could continue adding on anchor points, but that might be a little more complicated. So I'm just going to come back to my rectangle tool and I'm going to draw another small rectangle or square-ish type shape. Yeah. All right, let's start with that. I'm going to, again, have to come back up to my direct selection tool, and now I can start moving these anchor points as well. So click on it and then move it. I click on this one and move it. And I'm going to click on this one and kind of move it as well somewhere. This one too. All right. This will all come together, I promise. All right, and now what I want to do is I actually do want to add some anchor points here because that's the way it's going to work best. So to add anchor points, I need to hold down the plus key on my keyboard and just click, and there is a new anchor point right here. Where else might I need one? Might need one right here, because we also have a curve coming out here. And yeah, let's add one. Let's add one like here as well. Okay. So now that I have these anchor points added, it's going to make my life a little bit easier. I'm going to go back to the direct selection tool. And now when I move this anchor point, I still have that one that you can see, making it so that I don't lose this spot here. Now I can grab this one and I can stretch it out a bit. Actually, why don't I just use this here? And that will bring it out. Perfect. And then let's see, I'll grab this one, bring that down. This one I'll bring it out just a smidge. Same with, actually, you know what, I need to leave this one here. And let's see, I need to leave this one here and actually add one more. So I'm holding down the plus, adding another anchor point, reselecting the direct selection tool, and then I can use that. There. Curve it in. Cool. So you guys are gonna just try out this method. So that is, you know, this looks pretty good for the shape of my chair. That's one way to do it. The only thing I still need is to make maybe like a nice thin rectangle here. I'm gonna move it over. Let's kind of rotate it a smidge, move it up, and I also want to round out these corners. So I'm going to hit the direct selection tool and I'm going to select this corner, hit shift, select the other one so that they're both hopefully selected, and bring that in. Perfect. But the thing is, these are all like, you know, separate shapes and it looks really weird. So what I need to do is come back up to the toolbar at my selection tool, and I'm going to grab, whoops, let's go ahead and come to layers first and just make it so we can't see the layer underneath. Also, I would add the legs of my chair in the same exact way that I added this. If I wanted to, I could even hold down, where is it? The Alt button and drag, and that actually creates a duplicate. So I can use these now. For these guys, all I have to do is kind of move it, and then I would of course be looking at my picture as I replace them on there. So let's just really quickly, I'm gonna run through that. We'll pretend this is what it looked like, even though I'm not totally sure. Again, I'm pressing Alt and dragging. There. There is our silhouette of the chair. I'm on my selection tool, like I said, and I am going to have to select all of these. First thing I want to get rid of is my stroke, which was like the weird black line that showed where everything was like intersecting. I'm going to come to properties where it says stroke. I am going to bring that down to nothing. And now I'm ready to join my shape so that it's all one shape, so that when I move things around, they're not separable the way they are right now. So I still have my selection tool. I want to reselect everything, make sure it's all selected. Now, when I come to this tool, this is called the Shape Builder tool, and I click on these areas or even drag through them, you're gonna see that it creates kind of like this interesting, really little grid or something. Okay, just dragging through. And so now I'm gonna come back to the selection tool. Now I have a shape. So that's one way of recreating shapes. And in the next video, I'm gonna show you guys how you can use the pen tool to do the same thing.